Hello everyone, welcome to Mascot Concepts, the series where I create mascots for teams that don't have one. Today, for episode 2, I will be creating mascot characters for the NFL team, the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are one out of the 5 teams in the NFL that don't have a mascot, but that's going to change today as I've created 4 different concepts for a Chargers mascot. So without further ado, let's get started. And by the way, Boltman doesn't count. Before I share my first mascot concept, I should explain how I come up with mascots for teams without one. I usually think of the team itself. For example, I think back to their history, and do a little bit of research into what would represent them best. I also think of where they play at, that being the state or city, as well as merchandise, since some of these teams use a fake mascot in their merchandise. So with all that information out of the way, here's the first mascot concept for the LA Chargers. So the first mascot I've created is actually already kind of associated with the team, that being a horse. Now what does a horse have to do with the Chargers? Well, a common nickname for horses is Charger, as well as the fact that the team does use a horse on some of their alternative logos. So with that out of the way, here's my first design. So this first design of a horse is named Thunder. If you have a better name, please comment it down below. He is designed to look like a racehorse, as he's wearing one of those mask things horses wear when they race. It also has the Chargers logo on it. He is colored in a navy blue color and has yellow streaks in his mane and his tail. You may also notice how buff he is. Well, that's because racehorses are actually pretty buff compared to a normal horse. I won't comment too much on his uniform as it's just the normal Chargers uniform, but his shoes I will comment on as they're pretty cool. They feature the previously mentioned alternative Chargers logo and a lightning bolt at the back. Overall, I really like this mascot idea, as it actually suits the Chargers. However, there's one problem with choosing a horse as their mascot. You see, the Chargers are in the AFC West, which also includes the Denver Broncos, whose mascot is a horse. Like I said in my Packer video, it'd be pretty strange to have 2 teams in the same division with the same mascot. But with that being said, if a horse doesn't work for you, then this next one might. The next mascot I created might be an interesting choice, but once I explain it, then it'll make sense. That being a rhino. Now what does a rhino have to do with the Chargers? Well, it's simple. Rhinos are known to charge, and the team is called the Chargers. Also, some people have created redesigned logos for the Chargers with rhinos, so I decided to get on that trend too. Here's my rhino mascot. He doesn't have a name. Again, please suggest names in the comments. I made him a light blue color because I thought that could be an appropriate pachyderm color. Not too dark and not too light. Speaking of pachyderm, he features a few wrinkles on his head along with a large brow, making him look a little bit angry, but he's still a nice guy. And of course he has the iconic horns that are actually designed to look like the logo. Since rhinos are strong, tough animals, I made him extremely buff and muscular, just like Thunder the horse. He really means business. His tail is also designed to look like a lightning bolt, and I gave him a pair of white and yellow shoes, mostly because I was too lazy to color them in, but also because they were really cool. Overall, I love the idea of a rhino being the Chargers mascot. It's definitely more original than a horse. But now let's say you like the idea of a rhino but you want something tougher and stronger. Well, I have the right guy for you. So you're probably wondering what I mean by something tougher and stronger than a rhino. Well, we would have to go back a few years, or more like 65 million years, to be exact, because my next mascot idea is a triceratops. This may seem like the craziest mascot I've created, but hear me out. Just like rhinos, the Triceratops was known to charge at their opponents. I mean, just watch Jurassic Park if you don't believe me. And just like the rhino, the Triceratops was also used in some awesome redesigned concept logos. Anyway, here is my design for the Triceratops mascot. It's basically the same as the rhino except it's a different species, obviously. The head is designed to be somewhat realistic as I didn't want it to look too cartoony, or he'd probably end up looking like the Colorado Rockies mascot, Dinger. And just like the rhino, the Trike's horns are designed to look like the logo. Now instead of just one color on his skin, he actually has two, as I gave him yellow stripes on his head, arms, legs, and tail. And for no reason whatsoever, he is barefoot. Overall, I pretty much feel the same about the Triceratops as I do with the rhino. I still think the rhino has a better chance at being the mascot though. But then again, kids love dinosaurs, adults love dinosaurs, and they do have a trike skeleton at the museum in LA. I don't even think the LA Zoo has a rhino. The last mascot I created is my least favorite, but I still created it because I still think it's a really cool idea. That mascot being a wasp, or a hornet, or a bee, whatever you want to call it. Now what does this insect have to do with the team or Los Angeles? Well, I don't know. That's why it's my least favorite. I only created it because I wanted to use the logo as a stinger, basically saying the Chargers could sting their opponents. So here's the design. No, he doesn't feature black and yellow stripes. He features navy blue and yellow stripes on his arms and legs. I based the design of his head on some already existing artwork of insect-type logos, and even incorporated the Mickey Mouse gloves from this design. His tail is just the logo, and his shoes are the same as the horse, just with different colors. And if you're wondering what the thing is behind his head, it's supposed to be his wings, but since he's at an angle it looks kinda weird. Overall, this design is not my favorite, but it still isn't bad. It's just that I think the other three were better options. So this concludes my Chargers Mascot Concepts. And there you have it, mascot concepts for the NFL's Los Angeles Chargers. I know that some Chargers fans may not actually want a mascot, and I can respect that, but don't get mad at me. This video was just for fun. However, if anyone working for the Chargers is watching this, please consider getting a team mascot. It'll definitely help you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next month for another Mascot Concepts video. Bye-bye. Oh, one more thing. F*** you, Dean Spanos. They should have stayed in San Diego.